everyone, and good evening. Welcome to How to Achieve Your Goals with Ease and Grace with Coach Wanda. And of course, before we head on, let me introduce you our speaker. And our guest speaker for today is the 2021 number one most influential Filipina in LinkedIn, the first Filipina LinkedIn live broadcaster, and awarded as Best Career Coach by Coach Awards. Listeners and live stream watchers, our guest speaker for today's live, let me introduce Coach Wandeline Kalupig. Ayan, good evening, Coach.
Hi, RJ.
Yeah, good evening
How's your
po.
day?
We head on po with your sharing and stuff. Actually, when I read yung highlight sa inyong profile, kasi meron akong unfamiliar word na nakita dito. Kasi I think
Okay.
some of us as well are not familiar with it.
Okay.
Um, So, helping executives and organization achieve breakthroughs through NLP-based coaching, training, and consulting. But, ito po, I asked a friend of mine if he is familiar with this term. Sabi niya, oh wait, I'm not sure. Ano yun? So, what is NLP po ba for those who are not aware of this term or acronym?
Okay. This
Ayan.
acronym is it means neuro linguistic programming. Because
Mm-hmm.
RJ, I know in IT terms there's also something called natural language processing,
Natural
right?
language.
So it
Yes.
often gets confused about it. But see, NLP is a mind tool and technique that can help you accomplish things with ease and grace. Kasi we're twitching your mind, we're rewiring your mind quickly. So using mind hacks and tools. So
Mm-hmm.
it was called neurolinguistic programming by Richard Bandler and the John Grinder, the creators of it. And I when I took my certification of NLP in 2014, that totally changed my life. I'll say 360 degrees. So, and I think even for my clients, that's why our topic for today is how to achieve goals with ease and grace. Because if you understand how your mind works, and if you can tap into the limitless potential that you have within, it really becomes easier to achieve things and achieve breakthroughs that you wanted in life.
Yun po. So, thank you, Coach. So, ano po ba ang magiging main stream or main topic natin for tonight?
Actually, today my goal is really to help every person who's watching us on live or on replay to really help them understand how can you live with ease and grace, and how can you really achieve your goals. Because a lot of people, we get so much overwhelmed, right, when things do not happen as we expect. And actually, a lot of people, majority of them, number one, either don't have goals because
Mhm.
they're too afraid to set it. Second, some people set goals but they easily lose track of it because they get overwhelmed of the steps they need to do to get it done. Like for example, RJD said a lot of people set a lot of weight goals at the end of the year, at the beginning of the year. They enroll in gym memberships, they have this plan of exercising, dieting, but on the third or fourth week, that dieting, that gym plan, that goal of being in perfect health is already gone because you already lost the momentum. So let's talk about it. I will walk you through the same
Yeah.
process in RJ. I want to challenge and I want to
Ayan.
ask every person who's watching us today, what do you want to learn more from me? Because
Mhm.
I think there's so many because you're the one on the hot seat with me. What
Yes.
what is your goal? What do you want to learn from me today? And I want to challenge those person who's watching.
Tayo sa goal muna for this
Mm,
year. And so
okay.
recently kasi, for me personally, takeaway for this session for tonight is paano natin actually break the habit of negative thinking or yung masyadong pressure sa sarili on when it comes to uh, these goals. Syempre, as we all know, people tend to have these goals and they pressure themselves na, oh, you need to
Mm,
do this, you need to do that. So, isa yun, breaking the cycle of the pressure to oneself and syempre po, on how to, based on the title itself, achieve these goals with ease and grace. Yun talaga. Kanino ko po yan
thank you, RJ, for saying that. So let me clarify. You wanna break through the cycle of the pressure, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, because I think you're right. A lot of people actually either have no goals or they
Mhm.
stop working on their goals because they cannot stand the pressure, right?
Yes po.
I think even I myself, I'm not sounding very well. The last
Yes.
few days, I've pressured myself to eating too much sweets. So it
Oo.
didn't give, yeah, it wasn't healthy for me. But, I think what's good about life is that it always gives us, signals. Like my body is talking to me, oops, too much sweets, slow
Mhm.
down or stop it. And I think in setting goals, number one, if your goals, are pressuring you enough, it's good and not good in some ways. Number one, if you have big goals, that will really move you forward, correct, RJ?
Yes po.
But because see, our mind is works like this. We work through fear or we work through benefit. Now, because that pressure of you achieving this goal is so high, you're working on it on fear. But also, at the back of your mind also, your body cannot take as much pressure as it is. That's why, people get sick, people get depressed, people get burned out. And the big question always is, what is your why? That's why,
Hmm.
aside from the fear of having these big goals, you should attach it to a big and emotional why. Because RJ, for you, right? Okay, let's go back to your goal. You want to have this house ready because you got engaged. Congratulations.
Thank you
But
po.
what is the big why? I mean, okay, fine, you're engaged, you want to make this house ready. But at the core of that, why do you want this house so badly to get
Mhm.
ready?
Yes po. So yun nga, kasi first of all, yung 'pag sinearch natin ang dami po kasing puwedeng sabihin ng answer to why, eh. Like, "Oh, I don't want to
Mm,
live, with my
yeah.
parents' house anymore. I want to be
Mm,
independent."
mm.
But the center of it all po kasi is to have your own privacy when you have your own family.
Oh, that's
Ah,
very good. And
opo.
why do you
Kasi
want to have your own privacy also?
ayan, kasi like as we all know po, eto na naman tayo sa Filipino culture kasi pagka may problem with, the spouse, 'di ba po,
Mm,
pagkasama ang parents ng either of the side of the family, they tend to get in with the fight or the conflict.
true, true.
So, isa yun sa gusto naming ma-avoid, to have our own privacy. So, if
Mm,
we had problems and there will be a time na we can solve the problem with our own, we can ask for consultation from our parents, but that's it.
mm-hmm.
Other than that, it's our own problem to deal with.
Okay, that's good. Now let me ask you another one. Why do you want to avoid conflict?
And so, of course po, some people actually, syempre po with the parents, ayan,
Uh-uh.
um, if they hear conflict kasi, either it's a bad thing or a worse thing. So, it's not a
Mm,
bad or good thing. It's a bad thing or a worse thing. Bad thing is, they will say na, oh, bakit ganito, nag-aaway kayo or something. So, it's a bad
mm,
look on the partner
exactly.
or the life. Worst part is, baka masira yung image ng partner mo with your parents or vice
Mm.
versa.
So you want to keep the relationship with your parents intact, right?
Yes po.
Correct. And why do you do that? But why is your parents, why the relationship with your parents important to you?
Of course, coach, yun nga po. They have been my parents and those are the people that actually raised me. So, parang in my end, at the back of my mind, ang hirap naman if number one, you disappoint them, or
Mm,
number two is you have conflict with them na syempre ang parents hindi nagsasabi kung may naramdamang masakit or what. Hindi sila nagsasabi kung nasaktan mo sila or what. So,
mm.
yun yung gusto nating i-avoid.
Okay. I hope you noticed I was asking. That's actually our first step to achieving your goals. You
Mhm.
need to ask.
Yes po,
So
ayan.
RJ, kasi when we set goals, always the mind will be scared about it. See, the mind hates change. Okay, RJ, magsimple
Yes.
mo na. I want you to understand this concept and its simplicity. I want you to mag-cross arms ka. Okay, cross arms. Kita ba ako?
Yes po.
Okay. Now, I want you to reverse that for me. Mag-cross arms ka din with me. Ko you do it. Then you reverse it.
Okay po. Oo nga,
Na
medyo confusing.
See? Okay.
Exactly
Number
po.
one, confusing.
Mhm.
Second, are you comfortable with that simple change?
Not
No.
as
See,
simple po.
see, the number one principle is that our mind hates change. And that's a very simple physical change I wanted you to do, right, RJ? I just told you to cross your arm and reverse it. But actually, You're not comfortable. That's one. You're confused. So the tendency is to go back to what your normal position is. And it's the same thing for setting goals. When you set big goals, your mind gets automatically scared. Because number one, it's confusing. What is this goal? Second, it's not familiar to it. That's why it's normal for you to have the fear. Now, the moment you have the fear of these big goals that you set for yourself, you need to attach it with the big, I'll say enormous, no two is enormous and emotional why. Because the moment your why becomes clear to you, it's easier for you na to say, I'm gonna do it no matter what. Why will you still, build this house and get it ready? Number one, because you want privacy. Number one, because you wanna avoid conflict with your parents. You wanna have a great relationship with your parents. But I think at the core of it, RJ, do you love your parents and do you love your partner? That's the truth. At the core of everything we do, there's actually love in it. And if you anchor every goal that you have towards love, you will have, because it's between fear and faith, right?
Yes po.
But so you are fearful of, having these big goals and taking big action towards it. And when you get scared, you go back to your why. And if your why is so much attached to the love, if it's anchored to a positive reason, which is love filled, faith filled, then it becomes easier for you. So, RJ, when you find it difficult to save money or to build something, do you think it's easier for you now to say, I'm gonna do this no matter what because I love my privacy. I wanna have that. I wanna avoid conflict with my parents. I wanna keep the relationship intact. And I love my partner and my parents so much that I'm gonna make this work no matter what. So do you think that is a strong emotional and enormous why for you?
Actually, opo, coach. Kasi,
Ayan.
if I may
Mm,
share, kasi
yeah.
po, to be honest, yan.
Mm-hmm.
Alam na to nila Sir Joe Mark and the
Uh-huh.
team. I've been working as in the academic field for almost 6 years as an
Mm,
higher education instructor. Then, of course, pandemic happened, nawalan kami ng work. I transitioned to virtual admin or online work. Then, tinakbuhan kami
okay.
nung employer namin from Hong
Mm,
Kong. So, almost
mm,
$650 yung tinakbo niya. So, yung pambayad ng bahay namin, kasama doon. So, I've been unemployed for 2 to 3 months. So, what I did is to grind and grind for, what do you call this? Side jobs and hustles para lang ma-accumulate yung pambayad ng house. So, like you said, coach nga, yung is my why strong enough for my goal? Yun nga po, I always keep in mind, actually, pinaka-center po talaga nung why or pinaka-center ng goal ko is yung si partner. If
mm.
ever nagkaroon ng problems, nagkaroon ng hassles, nagkaroon ng stress, I always think about why am I doing this or why is
Mm,
it special for me. So
I love
babalik po
that.
talaga dun sa
Mm,
core.
true. So actually, that's the most important thing to achieve your goals with effortless easiness. Always ask, when you
Mhm.
find it difficult, ask why am I doing this? Why is this important to me?
Yes
What
po.
what will you lose, 'di ba, if you don't do it or you not do it? Because if your why is bigger than your excuses, everything is possible, RJ. And I think I'm sorry to hear that, but I also learned that every failure is another opportunity for you. And with your
Yes po.
talents and skills that you acquired, I think, every person that we met can either give us a lesson, can give us a breakdown or a breakthrough. And I think that person who ran away with your money or for not paying you, I know, the goodness that you gave to them will always be there and it will come back to you on another level. So the most important next step now, do you want to know, RJ?
Sige, ayan. Next,
Okay,
next natin.
next. Okay, it's a three-letter word. Do you want to guess? Or those who are watching us on live, I hope you're
Mhm.
writing your whys also. Now, and
Actually, may
actually,
note
may
may note
note
pa
ka
daw
na,
ako sa kabilang.
that's great. That's good. Actually, if you want to
Yes po.
accomplish something, writing is most important, RJ, also
Yes,
because
coach.
see, our mind on average have about 300 to 1,000 thoughts per minute. But the
Yes.
moment you write down, it actually goes from 80 to 100. Kaya nga,
Mhm.
writing goals, is very important.
Important. Yes po.
Here in Dubai, I actually found a 5-year-old notebook and everything I've written down, nangyari na siya.
Oh.
And I remember I wrote that journal in 2006 when I came here because it was a very different culture, different country, different job. I was so shocked. Parang second day in Dubai, I wanted to leave already. But it was my journal who became, I'll say, a witness to all my struggles. So I was just writing, God help me here, blah blah blah. And then when I found the journal 5 years after, everything that I've wished for happened already. And that's the magic of writing, but there's so much more that you can do. And the next step and the most one of the most important thing also to achieve your goals with ease and grace. What's the three-letter word? Do you want to guess, RJ?
Actually, wala akong masyadong maisip na three-letter word. Coach, more on four-letter word
Okay,
yung
ako na.
naisip. Ay, sige, go po.
Sirit na. Okay,
Ayun.
it's act.
Ah, there
You
you
know
go.
what? You have very big goals, and that's good. But the mind gets scared because it's not clear what do you need to do. Okay, and I
Mhm.
will help you take break it down further because if you bring back to the first step, I use the 5 why. I help you find out your big why. By asking you 5 questions, why, until you finally found that the core reason why you're doing what you do is love. Because if your goals are anchored in love and not in fear, it will push you. Now, second, in terms of action, let me now use something called a chunking down technique. Okay. So, okay, RJ, in terms of your goal to have this house ready, how many months yan? How far is this goal from you? Is it 1 year?
Yes, coach.
Okay.
Around
So,
1 to 2 years.
1 to 2 years, you need to achieve and, get the house ready. Okay.
Yes po.
Now, in 9 months, and how much money do you need for that?
Ayan ang inflation take
Secret
consider
lang.
po.
Sige, isulat
Okay
mo
po.
na lang dyan. I want you to write it down for yourself.
Yes po.
How much money do you need for that? Okay? Because, the mind works on clarity. You can move from A
Yes po.
to B if you're clear where you are and where do you need to be. Now, okay, in the next 9 months, okay, what do you think you need to do so you can have that money to supplement or to get the house ready? Do you have anything in mind in terms of what do you think you need to do for the next 9 months?
Yun po. Actually, before the construction begins, we need to pay for the contrabands. So I think within that 9 months, yun muna yung
Mhm,
kailangan kong pong i-achieve, which is for the
mhm.
permits and stuff.
Okay, so you need to do permits, right, in the next nine
Yes.
months, right? Okay. Now let's go to in the next 6 months. What do you need to do?
Mhm. Actually, yan po. 6 months is to actually finish up saving for the permits. So,
Ayan,
kailangan
dapat
na
finish na yung
preparing.
saving ng permit mo. And how much money do you think you need to do or you need to have on that 6 month or 9 month level? You need because see, we are clear that on 1 year you need this much of money, right? In 9 months,
Yes.
how much money do you need? In
Ay,
6 months, how much money? Ayan,
around 10% of the original
ayan.
goal, coach.
Okay, 10%. Now,
Yes po.
also the next question, for you to achieve this 10%, what do you need to do? Because
Yan.
if your current income, is it sufficient enough to pay for the money that you need? Or do you need to find other sources of income?
Actually, yun po. I'll need to focus on finding other sources as well.
Ayan. So that's good. So meaning, as a step one, in the next 6 months or the last 9 months, you need to find other source of income. Correct. That is very
Yes
clear.
po.
Now, the next question you have to ask is, what is that number one source of income that you think is very easy for you to get an opportunity and get highly paid for?
Ayan. Actually, as of now po, ang number one source of income ko talaga is commission-based or more on graphics
Okay.
design and stuff. So, I think that would be my number one source.
Okay. But you also used to teach, right, RJ?
Yes po.
And do you love teaching?
Ayan ang question natin, coach. Sa ay, teka lang po.
Okay, do you
Ayan, good
have
evening, Sir Jomar.
John Mark, it gets interesting, right? No, because I was
Mhm,
trying to help RJ see the he has a very big goal, but there's something called chunking down. In which case,
mhm.
you need to get clear in terms of what do you need to accomplish in the next 9 months, 6 months, 3 months. And what do you because RJ, okay, fine. You're clear about that money that you wanted, right? So in the next 6 months, sabi mo, you need to finish saving, you need this much of permit, this is your current income, and you're clear that you need to know and find other sources of income. And the question for you today, okay, you have this very big goal 1 year from now. What can you do today that can
Ayan.
help you bring that money? Do you need to do research in terms of what other sources of income you can have? Do you need to ask Joe Mark to give you more projects to earn money? Do you
Y
have any idea in mind? What do you need to do today to
mhm.
make that other additional income that you need possible for you?
Ayan po. Actually, coach,
Mm.
during the past months, since yun nga po, I'm really grateful with Sir Jomar and the team as well for including me with, the team. Pero I don't parang hindi ko kailangan ng pilitin yung sarili ko na mag-focus to one only. Kasi if I want to achieve this goal, I want to achieve my goal for the following years. Yun nga, yung pinaka-mantra or pinaka-motto ko talaga, kung gusto, may paraan, kung ayaw, may dahilan. So, if I really wanted to do this, I did find some ways to actually earn or look for other sources of income, which is, yun nga, number one is I did live streaming on Twitch. I
Mhm.
found connections for overseas partners. So, some of them already had di naman actually contract, verbal agreement. They will actually support my services and parang maging official artist nung brand nila. So, I had couple of channels. So, somehow, nakakatulong siya with the help of Sir Joe Mark. Other than Sir Joe Mark, etong mga people na to from overseas are the people who are actually sabihin natin sila yung sources ng pambayad ko buwan-buwan para sa
That's
bahay
good.
namin.
That's good. And right now, are you enjoying that? I mean, live streaming on Twitch and helping those people.
Actually, yes, coach. Kasi if you really enjoy and these people that you offer your services to are actually seeing that you're enjoying this job, somehow or minsan, instead of they're just giving this agreed price, they go
Mm.
beyond. So they,
See?
mhm.
Which makes it exciting, right? You know what, RJ? See, you already have a clue. See, you have a very big goal that I need this much of money in 1 year. But it gets very scary because it's so far behind, right?
Yes
But
po.
if you chunk it down na, I need this 9 months, I need this 6 months. But if we only talk about today, what is RJ doing today that he enjoys and that he can bring him that money? Because if that live streaming in Switch is already in Twitch is already giving you that money, and actually they're willing to pay for it, and they're giving you beyond the money. Actually, if I'm hearing that, number one, you're undercharging, RJ. If they're
Actually,
willing to give you beyond, you're undercharging. So my recommendation for do a research. How much really are they charging? Because I think people will always love to work with people who loves what they do. I just saw that. Baby, can you get my battery? I think people will always love to work with people who love what they do.
mhm. Yeah.
Didn't realize I have no more battery.
Yes po.
So if I get cut through just quickly, I'm asking my daughter to get my battery. So what I'm saying is that the good thing, RJ, is that you're very clear. This Twitch is something that I can do extra other than the commissioning work that you're doing, where I can earn money. And it's about replicating that, doing what you love the most and offering that services. And I think when they're giving you the money beyond what you're asking for, that already tells a clue you can charge more because you're good at what you're doing, RJ. So it's about, for me, I think, finding more clients like that who will appreciate you and focusing on that. Because see, as we said, to achieve your goals with effortless ease, you need to act. You need to take action now. You need to take action now. Because see, our goals are so far behind, but it doesn't, you just need to take one action today to get one step ahead and to achieve that. So every day, RJ, I just want you to ask, what can I do today to achieve this much or to get more clients in Twitch or so I can charge more? Because you already found what you love doing, right? Which is good. Because a lot of people are even are even lost about that in terms of finding what are they gonna do, what are they gonna offer. But what I love about what you said, you already know what you enjoy doing. You already have like clients who are willing to pay for that. So it's all about taking action. It's called micro steps. And it's all about chunking down because now, so RJ, are you scared now or are you more clear that or and confident that I can achieve this goal? What do you think?
Actually, and coach, in regards with the steps na to,
Hmm.
I actually have a Google Sheet na na table with the earnings and the payment ng clients, keeping track of the expenses and stuff like that. So I really did check on the flow or the, and I forgot the term, forecast, I think yung term, in regards with the income with this specific month and stuff like that. Kulang siya actually, coach, if I want to achieve my goal na 10%. So what I actually do is look for more other sources of income. Kasi Twitch services are actually good. Yes, I enjoy them. But if you're going to check on the data, the numbers, they're actually not enough. Kasi, yun nga po, these people actually pay me more regarding my services. Pero po kasi, I cannot compete with experts when it comes to my field. So, based on the experiences, yan, nila-level po yung
Understood.
pinaka-pricing.
So maybe the next question, RJ, what is that something else that you can offer that is high end or could be
Mhm.
highly priced, diba? That is alive to that, whatever you're doing on Twitch. Because if it's live streaming on Twitch, there's also live streaming on LinkedIn, right? There's also live
Yes.
streaming on other platform. Now, if you're already good about this platform, it's just about finding other persons who want to go live streaming and assisting them. Because I know some people, I remember somebody approached me, they want to manage my live streaming for 15,000 per episode. Pesos ah.
Mm.
So
Wow.
so I'm saying I don't know if it's high or low, but I'm saying it's about being creative. Because if you also spread so much now, you're gonna do this commissioning, live streaming, then finding another thing, it's gonna stretch you, it's gonna overwhelm you. But if you just focus on, if you already like live streaming, it's about thinking of which other channels or who are the people I can support with on their live streaming, where I can get paid more and help me with this goal. Because it's, or who can you ask, who can you help me? I mean, this LinkedIn is a very good platform. If they have some opportunities for you, then it's also a matter of reaching out to your connections, right? And do you know anyone who might not need live streaming services? Because I need to provide for this big goal that I have for the house. So Jomark, okay, akala ko na. Is it me? Nawala ba ako?
Hindi po, it's all good
Okay.
po, coach.
Sorry. Okay. So RJ,
Yeah.
di ba? I mean, I know the good thing is that it's always about asking what can I do today? How can I replicate this? How can I make this bigger? Right? Because I assure you, other than Twitch, there are many platforms that is actually live streaming is a platform. I know live streaming on LinkedIn is only done through StreamYard. So this might be the right platform for you to find the right clients. And those people who also go on live stream, you can see them, RJ. So the good thing you can offer, do you need support on live stream? I can be your backstage crew, right? So, and if you can tell this is what I can do, this my services, and I think that's a win-win already. So it's about taking action, micro steps, and getting clarity. What can you do today so that your mind, can take it one step at a time and not get scared of, abandoning these big goals that you set yourself. How about you, John Mark? Do you have any also good to ask others to help you with your goals? Kasi RJ and John Mark, RJ, if you have this goal to have more, source of income, it's about asking your friends, right? I'm very good in live streaming. Do you know anyone who need my services? And John Mark, if John Mark wants to grow this community, and I am clear now that this is his goal, then when I'm posting on LinkedIn, I'm gonna help him say, join this community of like-minded, growth-focused individuals, right? Then it will. I hope I can achieve that. But see, without knowing what your goal is, why is this important to you, and without asking for help, I mean, because maybe Joe Mark and Bliss are clear, but I don't know. But because I thought I'm just gonna show up and help the community, but I didn't know we have a goal to grow. But now I'm clear. I'm gonna support you 100%. That's why it's important to achieve your goals with ease and grace. You need to ask. You need to act. Okay? Any more questions, Jomar?
Tulong.
Thing again. True.
Oo.
You know what, RJ and Jomar? It's actually a Filipino thing. I mean, and it's not just a Filipino. I think it's a human nature. We're always scared to ask because we're scared to be rejected. Right? Because when somebody says no, it hurts you to the core, right? But also, if you don't ask, you'll never get a yes, correct? Do you agree, John Mark and RJ? But
You'll never know.
you'll
Oo.
never know. But if you ask, there's a lot of chance for you getting a yes, correct? Dapat five-letter word na to. What do you think is the third step to achieve your goals with ease and grace, which is a five-letter word, but also letter A?
Mm.
Because see, you always remember, I always talk about aligning with love. Kasi nga, we are always based on fear. But when you align your intentions on love, when you align your actions, which is love based, it's easier for you. When you also align whatever actions you're doing with your values. Like for example, RJ was talking about, I really want to have this house ready because I value my partner, I value my parents, I respect them. Every person have core values that we have. And if you align your intentions, your actions with your values, then it's easier for you to do it. And I think the most important thing is always alignment with God's plan. Ito yung kind of difficult, di ba? Kasi, like, we always wanted some things, this big goal, done this way. Correct, Jamar? Correct, RJ?
Yes
You
po.
have this plan, you want it this way, A, B, C, D. Plinan mo na from A to Z how it could be done. Now, when something doesn't happen the way you wanted it to be, what happens? Do you get frustrated?
Yeah.
Of course, right? It's human nature. But also, there's something called alignment. Alignment with God's plan for you. Because I also learned when God says no, it means next opportunity. Because
Yes.
RJ, if that person did not pay you $600, imagine if it could have stayed for a year and he did not pay you, how much damage it could have done, right? So meaning, my take on that, at least he only did not pay $600 because that means God is pushing you to the next opportunity that's
Mhm.
waiting for
Yes
you,
po.
and that's right for you. And
Amen.
when for me, what when I find it difficult now, why I want this goal, I'm clear about it, I know it's good, it's lovely. So what is not working for me? I go down and align. What is this aligned to my values? Is this aligned to whatever God wants me to do? Because maybe it's not. Then I will go and pray and write. I will say, Lord, I know, God, you already know the best solution to whatever I want to accomplish. Show me the next right step, please. And magically, the right for God's help to empower you and to get over whatever difficulty you're going through as you accomplish. Then it becomes easy because you know what? Big goals are very difficult, I agree. But when you give that difficult burden to God, to make that goal happen with his help, then everything becomes easier and possible. So what do you think, Jomark? Do you think that's your life? Siguro for RJ, let's reflect back. Did you get any no's in the past and then na-realize mo that when that person said no to me, something came better? Because of the many people I interviewed here on LinkedIn, which are business owners, which are top influential people, what I learned from them is that they've also used the power of surrender on a different level. When things don't go their way, they did not stop. It's just about, oh, it's closed door, I'm going to the next, right? Because the moment you said, I'm quitting, I'm stopping, then that's it. But if you ask for guidance, the guidance always comes. So RJ, in your past life, you're gonna expect a big wave, John Mark. You know what they also said? Expect big, ask God for big things. Because and I also believe a lot of people, our human nature is to help. But if we don't ask the help also, we don't get it right. But I would always love to help. And if it's just a simple of growing this community, why not, diba? I'm always posting on LinkedIn. It's a matter of just adding on my post, grow this community, and I would love to support you on that. So it's all about that alignment, because but as you also rightly said, rather than focusing, I also learned, Jomar, if a person wrong you, hurt people always hurt others. So that's why the cycle of pain goes forward, right? But if you also are hurt and you actually forgive that person, because actually, if you fail to forgive that person, that's also a success block. A lot of people I work with, they have a lot of blocks in terms of their success, and one of those is forgiveness. So you have to forgive the person who wronged you, even without receiving an apology. It's the most difficult thing in the world, I promise you. But also, it's forgiving the person. Maybe the person doesn't deserve forgiveness, but do you deserve peace, John Mark? Do you deserve peace, RJ? Forgive the person who wronged you because you deserve peace. And you just say a simple letter, I am now fully forgiving this person who did not pay me or who wronged me. I know, that whatever grudge I'm holding is not good for me, so I'm letting it go so I can restore peace and happiness in my life. Whatever is lost will be returned to me a thousandfold, diba? And RJ, if you forgive that person who did not pay you and ask that, that money will come to you in multiple fold, it will come back eh. Kasi you choose to close that, forgive, and then open to receiving, diba?
Yes.
O are repeating in your life. Kung naloko ka, tapos naloko ka, meaning there's a correction that you need to do to
Mm-hmm.
stop that cycle.
Yes
Because
po.
see, everything in our life is our own creation also. And if we don't stop that cycle of what are the thoughts, what are the beliefs, what are the emotions are bringing me the same results, because that means you have to go to the another level, right, to stop the cycle of victim and suffering. And again, surrender is another way. Lord, help me end this cycle. Show me the lesson I need to learn here. Because see, if you learn from the experience to contract first, pay me first, and I think that's also another good rule. Because until you learn the lesson, it will keep on coming back eh.
Mm-hmm.
Kasi yun din yun eh. But I also, you know what I also learned? There's something called burdens are blessings in disguise. When I
Yes.
experienced burnout, parang that time, I felt really so bad. I cannot even share now why am I unhappy when I have everything. I cannot even share it at all. But I also remember praying, Lord, help me see the light here. What is the suffering telling me to do?
Mm-hmm.
Now what I realize, I am not the only one who's suffering in silence. Well, 80% plus of people are suffering in silence because they're not even scared. They're so scared to speak that they're unhappy, they're fearful.
Mm-hmm.
But they cannot even speak about it because society will judge you why you're
Yes.
unhappy. I cannot even ask God na bakit ba hindi ako masaya when He gave me everything I asked for. But fast forward today, I'll say, my burnout is my biggest blessing because it is my biggest breakthrough. Eh. And similarly, whatever you're going through, if it's your lowest low, that's good. Meaning the next step for you is just going high.
Yes.
There's no other way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this life, as they said, is like a life machine. It's up and down. It's up and down. And it's all about, going to the flow of life. Because you quoted that quote, I like that. For I know the plans for you, plans to prosper you and give you a beautiful future. But my favorite quote also, renew your mind and you will see God's pleasing and perfect will. Because really, every battle we have is in the mind. Eh. But God created our minds to really help us and protect us. That's why there's always a negative voice, because it wants to tell us something. It's about listening to, what is this telling me to do? What does God want me to do here? Because if it's not working, it's a next opportunity. It's a no, a yes, and not yet. And it's about asking, what is my next step here? So before we end, I know we're an hour already. Okay, summarize natin 3 steps to achieve your goals with ease and grace. You need to ask, you need to act, and the most important thing, align. Align with your values, align with yourself, align with God's plans for your life. So yun, are there any questions for me or John Mark, RJ? What is your take from today? I also want to ask people who join us, either on live or on replay. You wrote the objective. What is the number one thing that you learned from me today that you'll take away so you can achieve your goals with ease and grace?
Ayan po. So, again, for those who are thought na nasa utak ko, okay, I have everything in my mind, the goals, chunking down everything and whatnot, taking to action, and aligning everything. Now, the question is, what's next? Yun na
What's next?
talaga.
My question for you, RJ. As the roller coaster goes up and down, are you gonna be scared or are you gonna decide to have fun all the way?
Yun nga po,
There
coach.
could be different emotions that will invoke, di ba, as
Mm,
it goes up and down. But it's a roller coaster ride, right? So
yes
your
po.
expectation is already there. You know how it works. You paid for it already. And this is what
Mhm.
life is all about. It's
Yes
about
po.
moving in the flow, having fun, getting scared, getting back, and moving on. And
Yes
I'm
po.
always here if you need any guidance from me. Send me a message. If you get trapped, I'll help you.
Yes, coach. So, yun.
Any upcoming ano ba? Do you have upcoming events?
I
Ah,
In
actually just want to
person?
but sometimes another area is a problematic area also. And we have generally 24 fears, and there are 12 different pockets in our life that we need to take charge of. So I actually created a breakthrough program. If this is something that you think you need, please reach out to me. I also have a program called Manifest Your Dream Job. If you want that, thank
Ayan.
you. Movie date na ako. Thank you
Yep.
everybody for
thank you.
watching.
You, coach.